Listen. Halloween is knocking at your heart.
All right. Welcome to the next episode of the Tournament of Blood, where we are going to find out who is the ultimate horror movie villain. My name is Jessie Brusteris. You can find me mostly on the Takedown Breakdown here on the Rochambeau Podcast Network. We have a group of 5 panelists. They are the same panelists as last week. But you know what? Let's go ahead and introduce them once again.
I'm Linda.
I'm Max.
Well, I'm Eli.
I'm Kien.
And I am still John Dean.
That's good to know.
I'm glad.
Glad your name didn't change.
I am not the thing.
Fate hasn't gotten to you.
So the last episode, we had a lot of major upsets. But we also had some villains that kind of cruised through the first round. We're going to continue with the Amity Island region. And that region is dominated by one man, so let's just jump straight into it. Our 1 versus 16 matchup, number 1 seed Freddy Krueger versus the number 16 seed John Doe from the movie Seven. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
Everybody.
Let's go ahead and assume he does not have the box, so we are not going to know what's in that box.
Everybody has to sleep. Like, I don't think he didn't sleep after any of his murders, so...
But Freddy Krueger is pulled into John Doe's world, so he's
Right.
already in
Yeah,
the
he
real
has to
world.
pull John Doe into the real world. So
No.
as of right now, into the dream world.
Yeah.
So as of right now, Freddy is
we're going
mortal.
Freddy versus Jason style, where Jason gets Freddy into the real world, and that's where...
No, Freddy's already there.
He's already
This is the exact opposite. Freddy has to pull him.
I know, but you know how at the
Well,
end
he
of Freddy
doesn't have
versus
to, but he
Jason,
can.
Jason gets Freddy into the real
Oh,
world.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what we're
Remember?
talking about.
So, he still's got them knife hands, though, bro.
Yeah.
I've already decided on
Freddy
that.
Scissorhands.
He's got the knife hands, and like
Even in the real world, Freddy's got high endurance and got the knife hands. Like, if they were to just run at each other, Freddy wins. John Doe falls asleep, Freddy wins. John Doe runs away, Freddy wins because John Doe's going to pass out eventually.
right. And when I look at your stats that you put up there, Freddy's stats are
They're higher.
They're edging a little higher. The only thing that's not edging is their intelligence,
Right.
and their weapon. Well, their intelligence.
Fun fact, if you add up all of the stats that I have, Freddy is actually the second most powerful villain in this tournament, right after the Xenomorph, believe it or not.
That doesn't surprise me.
So, yeah. Being at a 116, I mean, there's not much discussion. Let's go ahead and start with John. John, Freddy or John Doe?
I mean, you can run, but you can't hide, bitch. It's Freddy Krueger if wins this one.
Yeah.
We got you, bitch.
All right, Kien.
Also, Scary Terry, Freddy Krueger.
Eli?
Yeah,
Eli.
Freddy.
Freddy Krueger.
Didn't know who the other guy was.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right, Linda.
Freddy.
Freddy.
Gil.
All right,
yes.
where did my phone go?
I
There
have
it
to
is.
ask, though.
What's in the box?
It was ahead.
Oh, okay. Good.
Alright.
I thought it was gonna be a big.
It was definitely ahead. All right, so Freddy Krueger advances. Before we get into the next one, I want to go around and we'll start with John. John, what's your favorite horror movie?
What's my favorite horror movie?
Oh, God.
Probably The Thing.
Okay.
So, the original one.
All right, Kien.
My mom's divorce.
All right, Eli.
I don't have a follow-up for that. Just eclipses anything else.
Sorry, just let it. Like I said in the first episode, we're gonna have douchebaggery. There's a
Can I
person-
actually say my real first
Yes.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna sound super fucking weird,
Okay.
and
The Human Centipede.
it's not the Human Centipede. It's actually going to be The Evil Dead 2.
Very good.
I
Alright,
love The
Very,
Evil Dead
very
2.
good. Eli.
So, I like to make fun of horror movies, so either The Ring or It Follows.
It Follows was a very good movie. The
Stupid.
monster from, the thing from It Follows was actually one of the villains that didn't quite make our list.
Mhm.
So it was in consideration, but with it just coming out, it just came out this year, didn't it? Or
A
last
year
Last
ago.
year.
Because then you could have put like the Lights Out monster, who too? Because I
Right.
really enjoyed Lights
With
Out.
right.
Eli saying that he likes to make fun of horror movies, Cabin in the Woods is probably like
Cabin in the Woods is a great.
it's like
horror
my
movie.
second favorite, so
Right.
you should watch that.
Right.
Max.
I'm gonna go with Dr. Giggles, only because I was tortured with this movie as a kid. And
then
now it still scares the shit out of me, even though I'm an adult now.
Before it sounds weird, I also like if we're going like modern day horror, and it's not really because it's scary, because I really enjoy the thriller part of it. I love Get Out. Like
Get Out was a great movie.
Get Out was
Get Out was
fucking
fucking
dope.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's woke will like Get Out.
Yeah.
Who's woke?
Limit.
Yeah.
Don't have one.
Really?
No.
Which is like,
Alright. For me, it's actually You're Next, which is kind of the reason why the Mercs made it
Yeah,
into
you stupid
the tournament.
I like looked at that too. I'm like, do they really count as?
Well, has anyone seen You're Next?
Yes.
You made me watch it.
I did. Yeah. You're Next is a great movie. Like Right's. It's not quite as good as like Get Out for a modern horror movie.
Oh, not even
But
close.
Your Next is still a great movie that was critically acclaimed. So right before Get Out came out, it was probably the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes for the horror genre
Really?
in like the last like 15 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, are we talking? We could talk about like classic movies because the ones that I actually have seen has pretty much been two of the Phantom of the Operas. That's as close as horror as I can get.
Okay.
Like the Silent and the 1940s. That's
Alright.
as close as I can get that I've actually watched.
Believe without like going. Oh my god.
All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and jump into the 215 matchup. You have the number 2 seed Predators versus the number 15 seed Esther Coleman.
This is an easy choice.
Yeah, this is probably going to be one of your easier matchups, even if you look at it on paper.
It's a fucking midget versus an alien with a fucking sniper rifle for a
Pretty
gun.
much. Go ahead and converse amongst yourselves, I guess.
She's short, so he can't shoot her.
Should we just talk about how he got her?
Yeah, I kind of want to do that because this is how I picture it.
Yeah.
She's
She
just
fell
like
in a
skipping.
short hole.
I mean, the only way that I could honestly give it to Esther is if the Predator is already on fire. Like when the fight starts.
Or if she has like Macaulay Culkin's Home Alone knowledge, maybe she might get the edge.
I don't
Doubt it.
I don't know who Esther Coleman is.
She's a
Have you ever
She was
have
from
you ever
the-
seen the... Okay, no.
the-
I've never even heard of it.
Yes,
That's
it's
why.
yeah. Esther Coleman is the main antagonist from the movie The Orphan.
She gets adopted by a family, and then it's like she's an adult and she's trying to fuck the dad. It's weird.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So
I mean, I don't care.
yeah,
It's been out for years. Fuck
yeah.
They've had a chance to avoid spoilers with pre-releasing the bracket, so.
Well, I'm only asking because its main weapons is fire, so I don't understand.
Yeah, she
She
just
She's an
lights
arsonist.
things
yeah,
on
she's an
fire.
arsonist.
She doesn't have fire manipulation. She just lights things on
Okay,
fire.
I
Yeah.
thought she had like fire powers or something.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
damn.
All right, so I guess we're all in consensus. The Predator does win, but I still want to go around. Does Esther stand a chance in this fight?
No.
Okay.
God fucking no.
Apparently not. What I know about it.
Can she
Unless-
hide in a very small hole and light him on fire?
I mean, the only advantage that she would have is that the Predator's heat vision is pretty much useless.
If she's an arsonist.
Yeah,
right.
she just lights everything on
But
fire.
he can see through other means too.
Yeah,
Right.
Or he could just take his fucking mask
Right.
off.
right.
Linda, does she stand a chance?
No.
All right, so the Predator wins.
Very unanimously.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
so
discussing how it happens was the more fun.
Yeah.
so that being said, the number 314 matchup. You have the 3rd seed, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers versus real life serial killer in number 14 seed, John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
What's up?
Recap. Who's John Wayne Gacy?
John Wayne Gacy is, again, one of the more famous serial killers. He had a penchant for attracting little boys, I believe.
Yes.
Children.
Yes, and he would strangle them, and he was the one that would hide them underneath his house. After he was caught, police say they found over 50 bodies underneath his house.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Damn, dude.
But
Yes.
most of them were children bodies
yeah,
or
and
preteen.
yeah.
So like,
And I don't know why it says 33 pounds.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I like how the
that's
kill
what-
count is pounds, not bodies.
I was very tired when I was finishing this last
Well,
week.
like that's
33
probably
pounds
the
worth of
weight.
people.
That's probably the weight of bones of that they found or something like
I
that.
thought it was the
There-
weight
that's
of the dead
one way.
babies he's killed.
Yes.
Aw.
But,
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was 33
That's about the weight of a
confirmed-
toddler, though.
Yeah, it was 33 confirmed kills, but they do believe that there was estimated to be over 50 bodies underneath the house.
God damn.
Wow.
So,
Ugh.
and he was also very sociable. Obviously, he was a clown for children's birthdays.
Wait, is he the one they based the thing in American Horror Story on?
No.
No, not really. No.
No,
They
that was
They took
another
a
clown.
little from him, but no.
Right.
I
There was-
thought they based
um,
that clown on
Yeah,
someone.
he was.
There was a
They
legitimate
did.
clown that killed people, but
Yeah, he was also, I believe, God, he was very neighborhood politics savvy.
He was a big person in his
Yeah,
in his
Major
like
project.
yes.
yeah, like in his community, he like was on. I don't think he was on the school board, but like he was like
Right.
participating in the community constantly.
Yep.
Like nobody thought this guy was a mass murderer.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, I'll go ahead and open it up to you guys.
I think the first thing we should point out is that Jeepers Creepers 3 is coming out. Don't go see it because the director is a fucking child molester.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If
he
you
is.
really, really want to see it, pirate it when it comes out on DVD.
Yes. The
Do not-
creeper. The creeper is one of the all-time great horror movie villains. But don't go see that goddamn movie in theaters.
No,
yeah,
don't.
Don't give
please.
a person like
Yeah.
that your money.
Yeah. So yeah, here at the Rochambeau Podcast Network, we do not condone child molestation. So, fun fact.
I didn't know you had to announce that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It was
I feel like-
assumed right up until
I feel
it
like
wasn't.
it's just an important thing to get
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're-
let's be fair.
Could've done
PewDiePie
that. I
also
don't know if
dropped.
that statement was
Right.
necessary, but
Pewdie-
don't go see the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
PewDiePie also dropped racial profanities on his thing, but I didn't feel like he didn't have to say that. So I
Well,
feel like it has to be said before it gets.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
We already
I mean,
tangented on
okay,
that.
I don't speak for y'all, but fuck Cutie Pie.
That is also the general consensus of the Rochambeau podcast.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
A few of us.
All right. So again, let's open it up.
Yo, I'm just gonna be real with you. That guy, the creeper, you're in for real. Like you're in a community, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
So the creeper has the ability to like take organs and shit,
Yeah.
right?
I
So
mean-
like you have
Yeah, he uses that for his regenerative
Right.
powers.
he has a neighborhood to use to
Yeah,
fucking-
this is essentially a buffet line for the
Yeah,
creeper.
Right.
And John Wayne
This-
Gacy,
yeah,
if
this
he
is-
tries to run, he's a fat guy with heart problems.
Yeah.
He ain't getting far.
No.
I'm just
This
looking
is-
at the main weapons and it says he has a truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ran people over with a truck at one point.
Yep.
So it's truck versus rope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
I think this is also a case of where putting someone in the lower seats world is a disadvantage to the lower seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Oh, Gil.
Doesn't the creepers, the whole thing is he has to harvest such and such from certain people, they have to be so afraid of him or something?
No.
No.
No, he
No.
just takes body parts.
he's
from
surrounded
them.
by average people anyways. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be shit their pants
And-
terrible
and-
all the time.
And the perfect example in the Jeepers Creepers movie that would, come into consideration for this fight is the whole plot of Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah.
Like, he had a whole school bus full of kids to kill.
Oh, and he
So,
did.
Yes.
He got
murdered.
their
So,
goal.
He murdered.
So let's just go ahead and start with John. John,
Yeah.
Creeper or Gacy?
I think the creepers got this one.
All right.
To choose the creeper.
All right.
Yeah, the creeper.
Creeper.
All right.
There's mom.
So far so good for the status quo. The higher seeds are annihilating these lower seeds.
Okay, when you choose like Freddy Krueger versus a mass serial killer, and then a fucking midget against the
Listen,
aliens
that's
with
just
a-
how it. That's just how it ended
No,
up.
I'm just saying you're like, well, it looks like they're doing pretty good. I'm like,
No.
the other
about
ones
that.
kind of had a chance.
As you'll see in upcoming episodes, there are some villains that kind of drop to the lower seeds, that definitely shouldn't be a lower seed.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just pointing this out here.
Yeah.
Before we get into, wow, this one's been a really easy prediction. Well, let's look at the fucking
All right.
lineup.
Well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and head to the 4-13 matchup. You have the number 4 seed, Richard Ramirez, versus the number 13 seed, a group of 5 rage monsters from the 28 Days Later saga.
All right.
Now,
Who here has seen 28 Days Later? Yeah. We know where this is going to go.
well, let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of info about Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez was this close from being an anonymous serial killer.
Yeah.
If it was not for his ego, he would have remained at large until he died.
Oh, yeah. He easily would have.
Yes. It literally came down to he went out of town, started basically talking about his killings to a family member, and somehow it got back to L.A., and when he came back into town, he went to a bar, and people started to notice him, and all of a sudden he had a mob upon him, and that's how he got caught by the cops, was essentially the patrons of the bar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he could have easily been a Jack the Ripper or Zodiac killer. Gil.
But you gotta remember, they're in the 28 Days Later world. Even if those are just the first 5 infected, that thing spreads crazy, so it wouldn't just be 5 for long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that you should definitely take into consideration. They will have numbers very quickly.
Fuck, too.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go ahead and open it up.
Does anybody vote against the 5 rage infected?
All right.
Just imagine what they would do now.
The only thing that Richard has going for him in this fight is that he's smarter than the other ones.
Yes.
He's smarter than the average rage infected.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had time to prepare, he'd be able to take 5 of them out. But
exactly. And he was known for not using just one weapon. It was
he
used his environment.
He killed in a plethora of ways.
Yes.
So like if he had time to get away from 5 who are fast as shit,
and get his hands on a shotgun,
get his hands on anything he could use, he might take out a couple, but they're rage infected. They're gonna do this.
And this is why I love this kind of open setting for this, is because I didn't even take into consideration that they could just infect other people.
Yeah, if he's running away and they happen upon other people, 5 turns into 10, 10 turns into 50.
Yeah.
He's fucked eventually.
Because
the way I'm taking it is that if he kills 5, then he wins, whether he dies at the end or not.
But he'd also have to kill those 5 before they spread the infection.
And
he could get infected too, couldn't he?
Yeah.
That's the thing too, where I think that his own cockiness would be kind of his
downfall. Yeah, and he doesn't even need to get bit. In the first movie, a guy turned just because he got a drop of rage blood in his eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the consensus, rage infected.
Yeah.
All right. We have our first technically upset.
Of this episode.
Of this episode. So let's go ahead and just move right along to the number 5. We have Imhotep from The Mummy.
I'm so mad you threw this in here.
Now, the only reason I have this picture is because this is
it's Brendan Fraser.
What does that
the old Mummy movie.
Yeah.
He was still named Imhotep. I just used this picture.
I figured, but when I saw The Mummy, I was like, God, I
yes.
fucking
Alright.
hate
But
this
anyways,
movie.
we have the number 5, Imhotep the Mummy, versus the number 12 seed, Headless Horseman.
Wait, does that say custom Brendan Fraser?
Which
Adam Katz in Brendan's picture.
Which Headless Horseman are we picking? Are we just going any Doulahan, or are we picking from a certain movie?
I imagined it was the Christopher Walken one. That was just
If we're going the Christopher Walken one, then I know who wins. But if we're going any other route, it's like...
Well, what do you guys think?
Because the Doulahan, if we're going Doulahan from any kind of thing, I think of this is gonna sound super weird.
Don't say don't.
No. What do you think?
I thought you were gonna say Dura Dura.
No. Well, that doesn't count as my Doulahan. My Doulahan, when I think of like, I don't know, when I like thought of Supernatural where they fought a Doulahan, he throws flaming fucking pumpkin heads. So
Yeah, he does.
Like, I mean, I throw that into an advantage. Like, I'm not even being a dick about it.
And
I'm, like,
the
being
way
serious.
to kill a Doulahan is actually kill its head. You can fuck with its body all you want.
Well, for the sake of this, let's go with the Headless Horseman from, let's say, the Sleepy Hollow movie.
Okay.
Well, is it
The more traditional Headless Horseman, the more popular Headless
Okay, so an
Horseman.
actual Headless Horseman, not a Doulahan.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, that'll actually go into our
But he
question.
talks.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, funny like.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and open it up.
Alright.
Well, I think one thing to look at too is that they take the immortality of Imhotep away in one of the shitty mummy movie.
We're going just
Listen,
the first
But he
okay,
still has his mystic
hold
powers,
on.
though.
Are you saying that the Brendan Fraser mummy movie is shit?
I don't like that
Get
movie.
out.
I'll leave it.
That
back
is a
at
I
that.
have to
movie.
agree with John. They're kind of crappy movies.
The second
Oh,
movie
okay.
is terrible.
The
Okay.
third is horrible.
Yes,
I'll-
that first
They
mummy
do have
movie is
football
great.
playing, you know.
Okay,
I will give it
it's alright.
that first mummy movie is
A fun
entertaining.
adventure film.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
entertaining.
Absolutely, I love the first mummy movie.
I will stand up and say that is a shit movie, but it is hella entertaining. But everything that came after it is
Oh,
god.
just
All right.
utter
Well,
crap.
I'm sorry for that. Continue. Yes.
But yeah, they take his immortality away, and he's pretty much just a guy at that point.
Yeah, when
I'm
his
gonna
immortality's
assume-
gone, he's basically
I'm gonna
magic.
assume that we're just taking the immortality away, and
Because he
he's
still has
using
his
his
mystic powers.
Yeah, he still has his life-sucking powers. And again, you are in a world where...
But you're trying to life suck something that's already dead.
But there's
Yeah.
other people around in this world that you can also suck the life out
The
of.
Headless
Yeah.
Horseman existed in like a very small town though, so there was
Yes,
like
and
20
this is
people.
where it's taking place. Is that small town?
Right.
Yeah, so
And-
there's only a few people for Imhotep to steal the life
Right.
from.
Right, and I get you with that, but you also got to take that into consideration for endurance.
Does Imhotep go into the church and just be like, "Fuck you, you can't touch me"?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen,
the
it's
horseman has to do is grab
Just-
a cat, put it on
Just
his
throw
head.
a
He can't
fence
really
post through the window.
win by hiding.
So I don't really give
Right.
a shit.
yeah. Eventually, he's gonna have to come out.
Right. So, I
Okay.
mean, you can't...
I mean, yeah, he can go into the church if he wants. He's gonna have to come out
All right.
Right.
because this is a battle to the death.
Right.
So
Somebody dies and somebody's already dead.
They're both technically already dead.
One got brought back to life. One is still dead.
this town is not big enough for the both of them.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Welcome. Join the peanut gallery in the back.
Yeah, you got demoted.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with Linda.
No, pass.
No, all
Not
right,
yet.
we'll come
I'm
back
still
to Linda.
thinking.
I'm going Headless Horseman.
Okay.
I think eventually he's gonna have the advantage over time.
Okay.
Mine is for Headless Horseman.
All right.
Because there's no Brendan Fraser in this mix, I'm going to go with Emotep, but that's personally just me.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's gonna be cats in this village, so I'm gonna
Yeah, there's
go
at
to
least
the,
one.
The Headless Horseman.
Okay. Well, either way, we would have
I
lost,
know.
so it's okay, Linda, if you didn't fucking say anything. I'm kidding.
So you are going to be.
All right, so we have our second upsets of this bracket.
Going back a little bit, though, what does cats have to do with it?
He doesn't like cats.
he's
He
afraid of
lives
cats.
his life.
Cats.
Right.
He runs from cats.
He has a fear of cats.
You have to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Just-
Yeah.
like what you're saying, but I think it needs more cowbell.
Shut
God,
the
there you
fuck
go.
up,
All
Gil.
right, so somebody go ahead and shoot Gil. Let's go ahead to the 6-11 matchup. Patrick Bateman from American Psycho is facing the number 11 Puppet Master Puppets.
So you're essentially fighting Ryan if he was a serial killer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know if he's listening, but like...
What?
Now, really quickly, I do, believe it or not, have stats for every single puppet.
You
Oh
do?
my God.
Oh shit! I need to see these
shit.
now.
Okay, tell them out before I make my decision, because my
Alright.
decision's based on a personal
I'll be
preference.
right
There
back.
it is.
You guys go through this.
There you guys go.
Ooh,
You
man.
are a saint.
Jessie, I can't wait till I tell you what I want to do for Christmas.
So yeah, I can go back to those if you want, but we'll go back to these. I'll open it up for conversation.
So, is somebody controlling the puppets right now, or
Yes,
are they okay?
puppets have to have
Yeah.
a puppet master.
Well,
Right.
yeah. Like I was assuming they were, but
Well,
just
No,
in
there's-
case
yeah.
they weren't.
What is the arena outlet that we are talking about in the Puppet Master universe?
We are
Can I
gonna
ask
go ahead and call it a hotel.
Okay, so Patrick Bateman does he have his axe? Can he have his axe, or is that...
I mean,
He has whatever weapons that
yeah,
he's
he
used.
has whatever weapons.
So he's used an axe, a nail gun.
He's used them.
He's
Plethora
used
of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And if I was like, I'm not going with the movie, I'm not going with the book, but he's also used rat and decaying meat, so...
Well, I don't think meat would have much of a
Right, no, I'm just
Okay.
trying to think of like I'm just trying to think of like all the assets that Patrick has to his advantage that makes it.
I mean, yeah, he's a person fighting
How many puppets are we
Puppets.
facing again?
5.
5 of them.
Wait, is it 5?
Yeah, it was 5.
I'm
1,
literally
2,
just
3, 4,
picturing him
5.
going
Yeah.
with the axe, going 4.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, it could certainly end up that way. But I mean, the puppets do have the edge evasion-wise.
Right, and an endurance.
Yeah.
too. Their endurance is.
Well, no, they don't have the.
Their individual endurance is low, but because they have numbers, it appears high.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing, like.
Because only one puppet has to manage to kill him, and there's 5 of them roaming around.
So we need the psychotic pretty boy to also bring his opinion on here, Ryan.
Do you think you can kill 5 puppets with an axe?
Or a nail gun?
With ease.
Okay, they're murderous puppets.
My beauty would blind them.
So I know my choice.
All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. We'll start with John. John,
I'm gonna give it to the puppets. I think there's just too many of them.
Yeah.
For Bateman to
all right.
take.
I'm also gonna go with the puppets.
What are you looking at me for?
All right, Eli,
Puppets.
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 Puppets, they have the numbers.
All right.
Yeah, if it was one puppet versus Patrick Bateman, he'd be...
Like him
I
against
honestly
Blade,
thought that
yeah.
was going to be a closer. I thought we were going to have more debate on that one. Honestly.
It all fell
for
down
me,
to the
it's-
numbers of there's a large amount of puppets.
Because he
For
doesn't
me,
know
it's-
who
And
the
they don't
Puppet
all have
Master
to be,
is.
like,
Right, he
together.
doesn't
They're-
know who the Puppet Master is, because like
Right.
unless the Puppet Master is like one of his business
For me, it was
coworkers.
where he said they were at.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and when you
If
said
it's in a
hotel,
hotel, it's gonna be hard to find the puppet master. If
Mhm.
it was in a house, I would have given it to Bateman because he's got to search through a house while fending off
Right.
some puppets. It's not going to take that long.
Exactly. All right, so with that, let's go ahead to the 7-10 matchup, which pits the Leprechaun versus the number 10 seed Count Orlok. Has anyone seen Nosferatu?
Yeah.
All right, Eli, you have not seen it, obviously.
No, I haven't seen anything on this.
Count Orlok is pretty much
Nosferatu.
What?
Nosferatu.
Well, Count Orlok is the vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can
Is what Dracula should have been.
can I
Yeah.
say it's basically kind of like, remember the DLC in Skyrim, where you can choose between a
Yeah.
vampire hunter or a vampire? It's basically kind of like,
connection.
well, no, that is basically like their final vampire form looks a lot like Count Orlok.
Yes. Count Orlok follows more closely to the original novel of Dracula.
Yeah.
The only reason that we got the more gentleman version of Dracula is because the
People
movie
wanted to
studio
fuck him.
the movie studio could not get the rights to the book.
Yeah.
So the movie studio that made Nosferatu came up with Count Orlok. So yeah. So I'll just go ahead and open it up.
I mean,
This is really hard. I don't know because they're both really like nonsense characters.
The only thing that I could think Count Orlok gets is if he accidentally drops a pot of gold somewhere and the leprechaun's like, well, go into this instead.
And I mean that could very well may happen because
You're in Orlok's
you know
castle.
Orlok is still rich. He could still have
Yeah.
that pot of gold.
Right.
Oh yeah, he
You are
easily
in
could
Orlok.
have, but
You are
like,
in
and
Orlok's
he can
castle.
fly.
Right.
well, the leprechaun just teleport wherever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
That's true.
And how strong is the leprechaun's mind control over vampire mind whatever shit they have?
I mean that's a good question.
Can we all just take a moment that they're the reverse height when you look at it? One's 3'6", the other one's 6'3".
Yeah. So like,
Illuminati.
Confirmed. 3 in them. Confirmed.
All I can tell you is
Everyone's
that in
just
most
hating Gil
fantasy
tonight,
stuff,
aren't we?
you can't mind control undead.
Three's the
Vampires
Yeah,
are
I-
technically undead. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know if that applies to this.
But leprechauns are fey, so you can't really mind control them very well either.
But yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you and your fucking Celtic magic here.
Fuck off!
Linda, you're kind of quiet. What do you think?
He's not
I
wrong.
I'm just kind of staring at the picture of the leprechaun. I'm like, he freaks me.
You need to see that movie. It's such a fucked up movie.
My earliest well-known horror movie memory.
Cold digger. Sorry.
Was from The Leprechaun 3.
Oh, really? That was your
where
earliest?
he goes
Oh,
to Vegas
God.
and he ends up inflating that lady until she explodes, and then he has sex with the corpse.
Yeah.
That's like the most vivid memory I
God,
have.
he is so fucked up in the head.
So, all right, let's just go ahead and start, John.
I'm gonna give it to Orlok. I just think he has the strength.
All right.
Over top of it.
I too am also going to give it to Orlok because I feel like if we're going with how Orlok works, he might actually have some black magic.
Oh, he does.
See, and that's what I mean. Like, I think black magic, because technically fays don't have black magic, and black magic is one of the strongest magics. And if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
it's using like souls.
It's death magic.
It's
basically.
death magic. So I mean, this is just me being the dork I am, knowing how magic systems work. I'm going to go with Orlok.
All right, Eli.
Orlok.
I'm only giving it to Orlok because they're in Count Orlok's place. So the leprechaun has no idea where he's at, what's going on, and Orlok knows his castle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also
Orlok.
And I'm also assuming that Orlok's castle is full of like gold and shit.
Gold and like
Exactly.
women's bodies and like people he's taken and like
Treasures. Yeah.
treasures and like people he's
Right.
feeding on and shit like that. Like the leprechaun's gonna get so sidetracked.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Count Orlok wins.
Another upset, apparently.
Yeah.
Fucking love the leprechaun.
That's the beauty about these style tournaments is that the 7-10 matchup, the 8-9 matchups, tend to be more close.
Yeah, they tend to
Yeah.
sway pretty
To be
quick.
fair, and I also really like having a panel too that helps sway other
Yeah.
people, like, you know, and it's a weird thing to like say, but like with a panel involved in this, you have this abundance of people with differing opinions on things.
Right. And like especially with our next matchup, like, you know, like it could either be really close or it could be a blowout.
Right.
Especially with these kind of matchups, especially with what you're going to see here.
Oh.
Because this could be the most hotly contested matchup of the entire tournament, or it could be the biggest, you know, blowout. And that-
Sidetrack though, Ryan, we let your alien get one win already, so I just want to let you know this.
Yes.
You have
going all the way.
Do you have the Xenomorph going all the way?
Yeah, I do have the Xenomorph going all the way.
Damn it.
All right, so the 8-9 matchup that we were just talking about pits Frankenstein's monster versus the number 9 seed Firefly Clan.
We literally sat down before this and talked about this because it was a very
And because Eli's never seen
yeah,
it.
and because Eli's never seen it, but we also brought up it's a weird thing because like Frankenstein's monster is a brute.
Yes.
But he's also not an aggressive person.
That's what
he
I
was
mean.
just thought
Exactly.
of as terrifying.
But that's the thing. If he gets aggravated, though, he also gets that not a berserker state, but he's got. I mean,
he becomes enraged.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you
And I mean,
mind-
if you look at it like this, you know, like we're starting essentially in the desert with the Firefly Clan, and yeah, Frankenstein's monster is passive, but you're gonna go up against the Firefly Clan, you're easily gonna get enraged.
Yeah.
right, because they're
So-
fucking assholes.
Well,
Yes.
again, too, is that Frankenstein's monster doesn't like to fight women.
He doesn't.
Oh,
He's
I didn't
also-
know
Firefly
no,
Clan has a woman, and
Yeah.
they are definitely not against the idea of taking advantage of people.
No.
In a way.
Do they know that he's terrified of fire?
I mean,
it probably
you know,
would be hard
like
to find out.
Like the story of Frankenstein goes back, you know, almost like what 130 years at this point.
Yeah.
Ages.
You know, it's almost assumed that they know the story of Frankenstein.
Okay.
I
So-
also want to point out, though, we do have to bring up that the Firefly Clan, they may be a family, but they're assholes to one another, and they
Yeah.
can fuck each other up,
Exactly.
fuck each other over, left and right, depending on how the scenario works. So, when we talk about the Devil's Rejects, do we just get the desert, or are they at that hotel? Are they? I'm just. I have.
I mean, it doesn't really matter in this situation. We'll say that they're at the hotel.
Okay.
But it's not really going to matter.
Okay.
So,
and another thing to bring up about Frankenstein is being stitched together. He can lose limbs and get like fucked up, and still be mostly functional.
Exactly, and also one of the other major advantages that Frankenstein has, especially in the novels, is that he is quick to learn.
Right. Oh yeah,
he starts out very dumb. He gets very smart very fast.
Right. Can you show me their other?
No,
stats?
I cannot. I thought I did it, and I did not.
It is fine. You failed, but it's
fine.
With that,
like for this, go ahead and ask me, and I'll give you the edge.
Let's see. The stat, I just want the stats of the two guys.
I didn't have those anyways. I have them as a group.
Okay.
So.
Oh, you're fine. What's their endurance then?
Their endurance would be normal, like a 3.
Okay. What's Frankenstein's?
Well, I would definitely say
Frankenstein's is definitely a 4.
Okay.
I would definitely say that Otis is above the other two in the Devil's Rejects,
right?
Because he's pretty fucking.
He's a tank. He's the If we're looking at I'm looking at this in if you're doing a team style, you have tanks.
It's definitely a 3v1 with somebody standing front line.
Because then you have those two will be your support.
Mm-hmm.
On the back.
I mean, essentially, you're looking at this let's say Deadpool, the Punisher, and insert comic book hero here versus the Hulk.
Right. So if we're gonna do it they're not as invincible. Maybe not take Deadpool. Maybe go.
I mean, they definitely have a lot of endurance.
Right.
Those motherfuckers in the Devil's Rejects, took bullets.
So here's
candy.
how we'll go. If we're doing that analogy, it'd probably be like Red Hood, the Punisher, and Elektra.
Sure.
Those would be my 3 against the Hulk. I still, my personal thing is you are still facing this brute of a man.
Yes. But they have firearms.
Right.
They have guns.
Yeah, but
the Hulk only has him.
I know, but
Frankenstein's got himself.
I know, but
no. They can shoot him though.
Right, but if he's self-learning,
this is what I love. Right.
But here's the thing: on the real though, if he's self-learning, he's really smart. Say one of them drops their firearm, he's gonna be looking at the fact that you were using a trigger finger to use that to his advantage.
True.
He might not be a good shot.
But he might be
he's gonna know how to use it.
But that's the thing. They're also still human, and they can still feel. As much as you think they don't fear things, they still fear each other.
This is a legend. Frankenstein is a monster from fables and tales. They see that shit walk up to them. At least one of them's gonna go, oh,
it's not
shit.
This is the quintessential old school versus new school.
Right.
Yeah.
You have the classic Frankenstein's monster that terrified kids for ages almost versus the Firefly Clan, which has quickly turned into one of those great horror movies.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I just take it like that they were also from a House of a Thousand Corpses, weren't they?
Yes.
See, and that's where I stand. They've lost their numbers already. They're already dwindling, and they do in the movie there is a shit ton of infighting.
Yes.
So with that,
that's the Devil's Rejects is them starting off fucking hating each other, and by the end, they're taking bullets for each other.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, but who's to say that one of them's gonna be well, fuck you, dude. I'm going to push you in front just to get the edge and get away. At least again, I know he'll take one person.
With them having a woman.
Right.
And Frankenstein not wanting to, there is a solid chance that they will take
advantage and that's
of that.
That's that dark horse edge I have to think of, and that's the thing that's getting me about this. But then again, when you think about it, they could easily go fucking kill her. You know what I mean?
They could fuck her over and toss her in the line of fire, assuming he won't do anything, and he's gonna be enraged and just accidentally fuck her up anyway.
Frankenstein has accidentally killed a girl. He could accidentally kill her within his rage.
Definitely, but wouldn't that then snap him out of that rage?
Oh, it would, but then they'd start firing on him again, and it'd take him time to get enraged.
Yeah.
But it'd happen again eventually.
Right, if they find out his weakness is a girl and he's already enraged, there's a strong possibility if you throw her in, he could accidentally, in his rage, just flail his arm because that dude, we're talking about, he's like the fucking Hulk. Whap!
Yeah, he has
you're going to
tossed
get
people
fucked.
easily.
Yeah, and then now he's got one.
Yeah, we're
but now
talking
he's
about-
completely out of the fight.
We're talking about the monster version of the big dumb dude of Mice and Men.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Like,
Pretty much.
you can get him out of his rage. You piss him off again, though, by shooting at him a few times. He's going to be
But that's
pissed
the thing.
again.
Yeah.
He could be he was nice to that girl, and he didn't purposely kill her, but he
Right.
was just throwing her around and things like that because they were having fun.
Right.
They could that could be a thing that happens, and he could still like in Mice and Men could still accidentally break someone's fucking neck on accident.
Yeah, I'm thinking before they even decide to toss the chick in front of him to, like, slow him down, he might have already fucked one of them up.
Yeah.
So, like, you're down to 1.5 plus the chick that they're feeding, like, fodder cannon to him, basically.
Right, and I'm
Right.
like, I see your point, like 100%.
Like, the
but I'm
Firefly
looking-
clan could figure this out because there's 3 of them, but, like, if they take too long...
I don't feel like it wouldn't even be something they would need to figure out. I feel like it's almost something they would just do. Because, again, you have all that infighting with the Firefly clan.
Right.
Yeah, they'd
They've
probably chuck
put-
one of them out there
They've
anyways.
literally, like, in the movies even, like, put the other ones in positions so that they can get away from, like, a bad spot.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll stop you guys right there, and I'm gonna start with Linda. How would you see this playing out, and who would win?
Pretty much, I see it coming down to pretty much, even though it does start off as 3 versus 1, it's going to end up being 1 versus 1, and pretty much I see that being the big guy between
Otis?
Yeah,
Otis
Otis.
and because I haven't seen Devil's Rejects.
It's a good movie, you should see it.
No.
I'm. If you guys are confused, Otis is actually on the end.
Yeah,
Otis is
Yeah,
the guy
Spaulding
on the
is the
right.
old guy in the middle.
Yeah.
Otis is the one that's got the strength and the endurance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's, like, the fucking meth addict of the group.
Yeah.
So yeah, so eventually I see pretty much ending because it can start off with him enraging him and then him pretty much getting one of them right away, and
Right.
then that's when he accidentally kills the girl, and then
Right.
that's when it becomes 1 versus 1. So I'm trying to think, okay, who the fuck is gonna win that between the 2 of them? And
Yeah.
I
What do you got, Eli? Like, I know
Well,
that.
I'm
So then we'll come back to Linda.
Yeah.
Eli.
It's Frankenstein's monster.
Well, I mean, we're also assuming that the Firefly clan isn't using fire in this fight,
Right.
too.
Well,
You
they
gotta
could
think
figure it
about
out and
that.
get fire.
Yeah. I mean, this is a scenario where, this is new school. They've heard of the story of
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they
But,
could
like-
just immediately come into this fight throwing Molotov cocktails.
But they're also methed out crazy people. And
Which
like,
is why they have Molotov cocktails.
Okay,
Have
okay.
you ever
Also
met
methed
people
out.
on meth?
They're
Have
also
you ever
methed
met
out. Their
methed
first
out people?
thought is
The
probably
only
not
thing
going to
they
be
have
like,
is
oh shit, I
Molotovs."
should throw my booze at this dude. Their first thought's going to be like, fuck it.
All right. So we have one for Frankenstein. Max.
I'm having a hard time. I'm giving the edge to Frankenstein only because I think he's going to end up killing the girl early enough that they're going to re-enrage him.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Frankenstein then.
Yeah, barely.
All right.
Giving it to the monster.
All right.
I'm going with the Firefly clan. I think you guys are underestimating how vicious Baby is, too.
That's true.
She's not a damsel in distress.
Oh, no, she's
by
not,
any
but I
means.
feel like she might get caught out.
She pretends to be one to take advantage of people that think that she is one.
Mm-hmm. Linda.
It's a close call, but I'm gonna give it to Frankenstein's monster.
All right. So Frankenstein monster wins, and that concludes the Amity Island.
Awesome. Has anybody got anything to say? Any plugs? Any...
Well, I know Kien wanted to do.
We've got one question, but Kien is wandering his way back right now.
Yeah, I have a question, sorry.
Okay.
My bad. We pulled that in for 2 hours.
Kien, did you wash your hands?
I did. I have hand sanitizer in my thing, so fuck off.
All right.
So, this is from Mandy Malusin. What horror subject matter, genres, legends, etc. do you feel are underrepresented? What scared you the most when you were a kid? Does it still scare you? Could you watch a horror movie about it? Do you think reading horror is scarier than watching horror? Why or why not?
I've already answered this question a lot on this podcast.
Wait, what
I think
genre is underrepresented?
Yeah, in horror.
Body horror.
Fuck you. Get back here,
It
torture.
is underrepresented.
Walk
That's
away,
like the
torture porn.
Are you
scariest
talking
type
like
of horror.
torture porn?
No,
The Fly.
like The Fly and things like
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
got
can
you.
agree
I
with
got
that.
you.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The Fly is an old '80s movie that started.
Anything by David Cronenberg.
Yeah. Basically, The Fly. For those of you that don't know, was a movie that was made in the 80s starring Jeff Goldblum, who played a scientist who was trying to do something.
Transport.
Yeah, trying to use teleportation or something, or figure it out. And essentially went to use his thing that he's creating, and a fly flew in, and he actually merged DNA with the fly that flew into his teleportation unit, and essentially over the course of the movie slowly turns into a human-sized fly.
It's pretty rad.
It's
cool.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's a very underappreciated.
Also, a good body horror movie that since Ryan brought it up, I like Reanimator. Reanimator's fucking awesome.
And again, nobody really talks about it. Cabin Fever.
Right. And see, but that's the thing. Cabin Fever was a hit or miss movie for me, where it was like the plot was dumb, but the gore that went with the plot pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Anybody else have? What about what was the question again?
She asked. Sorry.
6 questions.
Well, she asked.
Books versus movies, and I definitely prefer books.
I do too.
I
was much more scared of the book of it than I was ever.
Anytime that I'm reading something and I have to imagine it in my head as I'm reading, it fucks with me way more than me seeing it in front of me.
By the way, we are recording this as it just came out. What was it, last weekend?
Yeah. We have a review. You can listen to
yes,
that.
Go listen to that review that Kien and them did of the movie It. I haven't seen it yet. I heard it is fantastic.
I gave it an O load. He gave it a dope. He gave it a dope. It was
I gave it a mad dope.
A mad dope.
Mad dope.
But no, like, and then the other one that she brought up is what scared you the most when you were a kid, and
Chucky.
does it still scare you? Could you watch a horror movie about
Chucky, absolutely. Anybody that really knows me really well knows the story of how I come to get a phobia of dolls.
Go on. No.
All right. So for those of you that don't know, when I was like 5 or 6, my family is like huge wrestling fans, and we were watching Monday Nitro one night back in the mid '90s, and Child's Play came on after Nitro one night, and my parents went to the kitchen to talk, and they left me out in the living room alone as Nitro ended, and Child's Play came on, and I watched like the first like 30 minutes of Child's Play.
Jesus.
And what happened was my parents realized that they'd done fucked up, took me up to my room where I had a My Buddy doll, which is essentially what Chucky was based off of.
Which also means Jessie is old as shit.
Yes.
Did you see the segment with Chucky and Rick Steiner?
Yes.
Did that scare you?
God fucking awful.
Hey, tell them about...
Oh, yeah, also, me and my girlfriend just recently moved in, and this is how bad my phobia is. She left for Iowa City a few weeks ago, and she has, what is it called?
It's an American Girl doll. It's
Oh.
Samantha. She's wonderful.
And I am so scared of dolls. I did not go into the bedroom all weekend where the doll is. I got a total of 4 hours of sleep in 2 days.
She comes with the
I
book about how she
could
helps
not-
stop child labor.
I
Come
can't-
on.
I can't do it. So, yeah.
Well, it's you're scared of something. You're scared of something.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to fuck with any of
so-
them.
Did any other horror movies fuck you guys up as
Short
much as it
story
did
of
me?
dating a
Not.
Oh, Jaws. That made me petrified of the fucking ocean for my entire life.
I will be 100% with you. It was never scary movies.
Never.
Don't really scare me. Video games technically scare me because like I'm immersed in them, but I'm not like, oh, they're gonna come and kill me.
Right.
He's
But-
also really bad at them.
Bitch,
I'm
I
really-
heard you scream like 3 times during it.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
You actually screamed during it?
No.
You made some audible noises
I
a few
didn't
times.
scream. I was like, "Hoo!"
I was gonna say, that movie's not scary at all.
It's not scary.
It made
but
him
jumpy.
jump,
It was
like,
On the
7
point
times.
of horror movies that I don't think get enough representation in media, I'd say Lovecraftian horror is still
God, yes.
Right.
one of
Yeah.
my favorites, but it doesn't translate to a visual aspect very well.
No,
It's
it
all
doesn't.
the-
I think nowadays it could with like
Yeah.
the advancements in CGI and shit like that. I think you give us like a good director behind like a movie about Cthulhu or something.
I think
that would be a
it's
fucking
not
amazing
really
movie.
it's not really that you can't see it as believable. I think seeing it is what kind of ruins it.
Right.
I think what we need more is better writers.
Right.
Because, like, The Mist, I think, is an excellent movie up until you can see the monsters that are in the Mist.
Right.
The whole not
Plus-
knowing of everything.
That's the
Plus,
part
fuck that ending.
really, yeah, exactly.
Fuck that ending.
Or like The Happening. Like, I think that's a great horror movie until they find out what's actually going
Wait,
on.
The Happening. Is that the one where
That's
the trees
one,
are killing people?
That's the one where Mark Wahlberg is talking to fake plants.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think the trees are killing.
Yeah, it's fucking... It's
It
really
was more
good.
painful to watch him.
It's really good up until they're like,
Plus,
it's
plus
the
that was
grass.
that was during the shit Shyamalan era.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still not technically over.
Oh, come on now. What was the
He's
movie that
gotten
Split?
better.
Yeah, Split was a great
Yeah.
movie.
He's gotten better.
It wasn't
Split was a
horrible, it was
fucking
a
amazing
good
movie.
movie.
Plus, because of Split, we're getting an Unbreakable too.
Right. Well, it's called but,
Yes.
but also, things that scared us, and this is, real talk, I'm afraid of pitch black darkness. Just pitch black darkness. And I'm afraid of, I don't believe in ghosts. Before anyone, I don't. I think ghosts are bullshit, and like, but there is the thing. There is a thing that happened to me when I was in high school. And I don't know if anyone else feels like, if y'all ever go to the Witch's Grave in Minnesota.
Loon Lake?
Loon Lake. And this is, and it scared me for a while, and I have no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were there, I am such a pussy that my girlfriend walked in by herself with with her sister and her boyfriend. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait in the car. Just wait at the car. And I was just listening to the radio. Just like, I'm like, okay, this is cool. It's getting darker. This isn't good. Right. I'm like the only colored guy in the group because everyone else is white. I'm like, oh man, I've seen this before. This is not good. The radio starts to and this can be radio waves being fucked up because, other signals are trying to get in. But what started to happen is that the radio just started to in and out and things like that. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I hear a slam, the gate slam, and I hear them running. And I just fucking start that car up and just fucking bolt out. And for a week, I could not drive past graveyards. I could not drive. I couldn't. I will admit I'm a puss when it comes to that shit. As much as I'm like, fuck ghosts, bring it on. If I saw a real ghost, I'd be like, nah, man, I'm out. Just fucking kill me, dude. It's fine. It's fine. But the weirdest thing is I don't believe in ghosts, but my mom swears up and down I used to talk to the fucking tape that looked like a person, and one night she swears to me I was talking to this thing that it was the tape, and I thought it was a person, and the tape apparently she swears up and down that the tape turned and looked at her, it looked not a face or anything, but it flipped and turned it was a head looking at her because she asked who's there.
Oh God.
You're right. And they're because I'm from, I don't know if Gil has chupacabras that spirit or anything.
Really?
From the old,
Witches?
no, this is for fucking real. This is for fucking real. My grandma, superstitious as shit. She still has a stingray fucking pike on her house.
Wait, she has a stingray pike?
She has a stingray pike,
pike.
A pike.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were talking pike.
No. Dude, I wish. That's my other grandma, bro.
Wrong grandma.
That's my other grandma.
Wrong grandma.
Yeah, that's my other grandma. But on the real, she again, I don't believe in supernatural creatures, but there's one creature. I'm not scared of vampires, not scared of werewolves. There's this one creature in the Philippines that my mama always used to tell me about. And it's gonna sound fucking weird. It's called the aswang. Alright? So this is what is the most fucked up thing about the aswang.
Yeah, that sounds real weird.
It was Ryan that made me easy. Why are you laughing?
Oh, the dick is right, but that ass a wall.
No, sorry. Let me use the proper, because I'm using it in American language, because, I'm in America. Fine.
Speaking that American.
Oswang. There. You fucking perverts. No, but my grandma would always tell me, she's like, I have this stingray pike just in case, because there was an old story of, and again, third world countries are hella sexist because you can only be an aswang if you're a whore. But like she would always tell me, she's like, they're evil, malevolent spirits of dead women who ride from the corpse, and it's half their body, and the rest, their intestines become like these tentacles that grab innocent children and take their essence. Like they have like fucking long ass wings, talons. Their face is no longer a face. Their jaws are protruding with like bloody teeth. And like if you're a bad child, someone's gonna take you in sleep. So if you better behave. So I behaved as fuck when I was a child. So that is the one thing that scared me. I don't know if y'all have anything that ever like scared you really that bad, but like for me, like because like.
I have an obscene Bigfoot fear because when I was 9, my gym teacher had a really hairy finger and right up my bunghole.
Whoa!
So now I'm terrified of Bigfoot.
All right, with that.
What? Wait a second.
No, we're gonna end that there.
That's done.
So go ahead and tune in next week where. We still have Jason, the other number 1 seed, along with Michael Myers, the other number 1 seed, set to do their matchups, along with a lot of other great matchups that we got coming. John, let's go ahead and start with you. Any plugs?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, I Am John Dean, or you can find me on the Midwest Wiener with John Diener podcast.
What?
Right. Kien.
Hi, my name is Kien Ibanez. Ryan calls himself dictator of the Roshan Bros podcast. You can find me at the Roshan Bros podcast. Supreme leader of the Roshan Bros podcast. You can find me on BroQuest. You can find me on the RoBro News. You can find me on Max Kien's Fanime, and you can also find me with special guests that we talk about weird news and politics on The Tangent.
Alright, I'm Max. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube, and find us on Podbean and do that shit.
Yeah.
We appreciate likes, shares, anything you guys got. You even just leave us a comment.
And I'm Linda. You can find me on Facebook for Adventures of the Anti-Adults.
Yeah. And we might be helping Linda make videos.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And I am Jessie. You can find me on the Takedown Breakdown here on the Roshan Bro Podcast Network. You can also head over to Podbean, search Lunch Money Radio. We're going to be having some podcasts coming your way from the group up north, as we're going to call it.
Team B.
Yeah, we are the B team.
They're the West Coast Avengers of the Roshan Bros.
Yes. $10 Million Burrito Podcast. Currently untitled B and Jessie podcast.
Marital affairs.
Also, quick shout out to our friend Rob Catlin and Ryan. Their podcast that they do on Facebook called "It's Hot Where We're Going."
And also, with that quick podcast to make a little big shove, I would also like to give out Braden Drogmiller. He does some live streaming. He's the mini intern. He's always been there for us. He's probably gonna listen to this.
The mini intern.
He's the mini intern.
Demote him.
He's 16. Okay.
Doesn't mean he can't be average size.
Yeah, it's just
sorry.
Just make him mini.
Okay, the Drogue, who is the intern, he does some live streaming of video games sometimes. We always like to post things that our friends are doing, and that's what we do best. Also, we're gonna, if you guys also have any other creative ideas, you guys want to do podcasts with us or anything like that, please just let us know on the links down below.
Yeah, if Kien doesn't want to take the workload, I certainly will.
Oh, I'm ready.
Being now like a family of podcasts. Between Roshan Bro and Lunch Money.
We can like crossover.
Yeah. But with that being said, be sure to tune in either next week or the following week. We don't know when we're going to be able to get together again to continue the first round matchups. But thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Woo. Bye.